Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if it's your first time here. My name is Anna and I'm glad to have you here. In today's video we are going to be going through my parents' garage. As you can see, it's very cluttered. So I have my sister here, you'll see her in a bit, and our goal for today is to get all of the food that's in here either donated to the food bank family or toss it if it's expired, because this food has been sitting here in boxes for probably going on 3 years now, and I'm sure a lot, and we don't need mice in my parents' garage. All right, let's get to it. So this is my younger sister, Yelena, and she is currently staying with my dad. Some of you might know my mom passed away earlier this year in April from pancreatic cancer, and my sister moved in just to kind of help my dad out around the house and, just kind of be there for him until he's ready to be on his own again. So we started off by clearing out this metal cabinet. There was a lot of everything in there, really. Canned food, butter, I don't know, dried food, and almost everything in there was expired. So, and we did get rid of a lot of the food out of that metal cabinet. I'm going to be talking more about my parents in this video and a little bit of our family history, and kind of explain to you how my parents' garage got to be the way it is, especially with all that stockpile of food. So my parents were born and raised in Russia. They were both poor. My dad literally grew up in a village, and my mom grew up in the city. But I remember her telling me, there were days where there wasn't any food for her to eat, and sometimes even as adults, my parents would go to the grocery store and there wouldn't be produce or bread or milk, eggs, or, rice for them to buy because the shelves were empty. So my parents just always made sure to have extra food on hand at all times. Even when we were younger, we always kind of grew up with that mentality. You need to have extra food, and just because you never know what could happen. So in 2020, as you guys all know, there was with COVID and the pandemic and everything, my parents kind of went back to their days back in Russia where, they weren't sure about the food situation or anything, so they started to stockpile a bunch of food. There's lots of cans, rice, oats, sugar, flour. I even found 2 bags of salt, 2 50-pound bags of salt. And over 70% of the food that we had pulled out of the boxes and out of the cabinets was all expired, and it was pretty, it was difficult to throw away because it was just a lot of food, and it just kind of made us sad because somebody could have used this food, but it, we couldn't give it away because it was expired. None of the food banks would take it, or even the homeless shelters wouldn't take it because it was expired. So here we are starting to work on the boxes that are in that pile, and I wish we counted all of the boxes of food that we tossed. I want to say there's probably 15 to 20 boxes of food there. Maybe more, I don't remember. And I wish I would have counted all of the boxes. But everything that was in there was either taken from the food bank, or the Salvation Army was giving out boxes of food once a week. So, and that's what my parents did for several weeks. They would go to the food bank, stock up, and then they would go to the Salvation Army and stock up. And, they did that a few times, and then their garage was full of food. So my parents have lived in this house for it's going to be 26 years next year, and I honestly don't remember the last time this garage was ever cleaned out. On this day, my sister and I only focused on the food, and we didn't even get it all out. There are a couple of cabinets in the garage that still have some really heavy, bulky items in there. I think there's like several 50-pound bags of expired flour, sugar, I think rice, and we just couldn't take those down anymore because they were just way too heavy. That's my dad over there. He did allow me to film, but didn't want his face on the camera. So, anyways, yeah, this garage clean out is going to take several trips to do because there's just a lot of stuff in there. You see those doors over there? My dad is getting his house worked on. A couple of my brothers are replacing the doors in the house, replacing the trim. My dad's bathroom is going to get a makeover. So there's also building supplies, in here, which is adding to the clutter. But getting the boxes of food out has really opened up the garage a lot. So in November 1990, my parents packed up all of their kids and my grandma, and we all immigrated to the U.S. There was a total of 15 people. It was my mom, my dad, my grandma on my mom's side. My 11 brothers and sisters and myself, we all, immigrated to the US. I greatly admire my parents for doing that because I can't imagine how stressful and difficult this journey was for them. They left everything they knew behind. They left their friends. My dad left his entire family, and they packed us all up and we just came to the U.S. with just the suitcases that we managed to, that weren't lost. And it just, to this day, I always wonder how they did it. How did they make this trip? How did they have so much faith that they were making the right decision? And when I was talking to my dad about it just recently, all he just told me, it was just faith, lots of faith in God and trust, and that this was the best decision for his family, and it was. My dad and my mom both gave up good careers in Russia, and they here my dad was a custodian for the school district, and my mom did a little bit of everything. She was a caregiver, she did housekeeping, just jobs like that, just to pay the bills. But they made sure that we could have the best life possible, and we did, thankfully, to them. Okay, so this food here is not expired. Some of my family is going to come through here and take some of the food out of this pile. But look at this. We got rid of all that food. We sorted through all that food. So all of whatever my family isn't going to take, it's going to go to to our local Union Gospel Mission and the Lighthouse Mission. This is the canned food that my dad is going to keep. And all of this dried stuff, beans, rice, oats, is going to go to a pig farmer that my brother knows. And this is all of the food that is expired. So it was a couple hours later we got back to working on in the garage. But anyways, a little bit more about my family history. So we lived in California for about 2.5 years before my parents packed us all up again, and we moved up to Washington State, where we have been ever since. I'm not really sure why my parents moved us to Washington State, but honestly, I'm not complaining. I love Washington. It's very beautiful. I love the weather. So I'll take that over California any day. But so my parents my dad has 28 28 grandkids and 3 great grandkids. And, my dad and my mom have always felt very blessed and lucky to live where they do, and to have a house that they built with their own 2 hands. And they have never once regretted their decision moving from Russia. They had a hard time transitioning to a new country, which is to be expected, learning a new language, learning a new culture, everything was new to them, but they have never regretted their decision to pack us all up and move. So there is a 19-year difference between my oldest brother and my youngest brother. When we moved to the U.S., my oldest brother was 19 and my youngest brother was 3 months old. And like I said, I can't imagine the stress of moving you know, this huge family with a bunch of little kids, you know, to a new country and try not to lose anyone at the airport or at the train station or anywhere. How it was all, you know, how my parents did it, I don't know. It's just beyond me. But yeah, that's just a little bit about my family. So I hope you guys, you know, kind of enjoyed that. Um, so yeah, and like I said, my parents grew up with nothing and they've held on to everything. So that's why their garage is the way it is. It's, you know, my dad is working on getting rid of things and I'm helping him with that. It's easier for me to get rid of stuff. I just kind of just toss it. To me, it doesn't really, it's not very sentimental. But to my dad, it is because everything in that garage my mom has touched at one point or another, you know, and he misses her a lot. So, yeah, we started to go through some of the cabinets, but then we just realized like you know, we got to stop for right now because there's just a lot. So we kind of just organized some things, just put some paper towels away that you'll see here in just a little bit, and then took all the stuff that was on top of the washing machine and we put that away. And yeah, just kind of organized it a little bit. But I will be coming back here hopefully in the next couple of weeks and we'll be doing more decluttering and organizing. So stay tuned for that video. I want to thank you guys all so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this video maybe gave you a little bit of motivation to maybe declutter your garage a little bit. But anyways, thank you guys so much for being here. Please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. I would love to have you here. And there will be several more videos on this garage clean out coming. So please stick around for that. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.